are so many people promoting white hair care products and white hair creators. Why don't you guys just listen to the black creators? Because natural hair care products cost £20 for a little tiny bottle of shampoo. I love Camille Rose, I love Miel, I love all of them. I don't like the price though.
Alright, we need to talk about the Abby Lee Young method. Everybody has been talking about it. She is the messiah of hair, ladies and gentlemen. She is here to save the forgotten ones, and we must talk about it. So according to these TikTok streets, Abby Lee has been out for more than a minute now, but even the viral can go even more viral. Her name is in everyone's mouth. Her method is apparently life-changing, but the question is it good for all hair types? Can black women save their hair, or in fact even learn how to do their hair from a non-black creator? Her method has gotten some criticism, but most of all, everybody loves it, everybody swears by it, and I just want to react to a couple of clips and give my thoughts. Before I do, it is important to note that Abby is a trichologist. What is a trichologist, you ask? Well, somebody way more educated than me can tell you that.
So trichology is the science of hair, and trichologists are professionals who have been trained to diagnose and treat hair loss and scalp problems.
Look, the gist of it is Abby knows what she is talking about.
This is exactly how to simplify the Abby Young method so that you get the best possible results with the least amount of product. The most basic possible version of this routine requires 3 products: a shampoo, a conditioner, and a leave-in conditioning spray with heat protection. This is a really solid routine if you're in a rush and don't have time for more products, but if you are looking to take your results up a notch, then I'd recommend adding a deep cleaning shampoo and a bond repair treatment at least once a week. Some people get best results using a deep cleaning shampoo as their main regular shampoo, and if that's the case for you, that is totally fine. But for others that maybe have a really dry scalp or really dry damaged hair, this can feel a bit too stripping. So do what works best for you here, but incorporating both a clarifying and reparative shampoo into your weekly routine is a really great approach. And for your bond repair treatment, you can choose based on which mode of application you like best. So that could be pre-wash, post-shampoo, or post-shower. If you are using the right products, you will absolutely see major improvements in your hair with that 5-product routine. But if your hair is really dry, damaged, and difficult to manage, the next product I recommend adding is a hair oil. And you could use the exact same oil for both pre-wash and post-wash to keep it minimal, or you could also use 2 separate oils if you get better results with a bit of a heavier oil pre-wash and a lighter weight option post-wash. Using an oil before washing is an amazing way to protect your hair and make it more manageable on wash day, so I would start with that. But if after all of that you feel like you still want a bit of a boost in softness, smoothness, and shine, then I would try adding a post-wash oil after your leave-in spray. Here's an overview of what that would look like so that you can screenshot, but let me know how I can expand on this to make it as helpful as possible.
Look, honestly, as somebody who has been in these natural hair streets for more than a minute now, this is nothing new to me. Everybody will get tired of this method in no time. People will go back to not knowing what to do with their hair. Someone will complain it does not work for them. The idea that it just does not work at all will spread. Someone will come up with a whole new idea, but that is just my take, because this is nothing new. I have heard this in the natural hair streets before, but everybody disagrees. Of course, a lot of people claim that Abby Lee has simplified hair care not only for white women but for all women, for Asian women, but more so especially for black women, for coily haired women. But the videos that I mostly see are of women who love to straighten their hair, who are more so silk press warriors. Gorgeous, love it, lovely, all of the things. And yeah, let's react to another video. But yeah, no, it is long. The method, it is short depending on how you feel, and natural hair creators have said that for more than a minute, that you can shorten your routine or you can make it longer based on what you want to see. But of course, natural hair creators are not all going to say the same thing. There is no such thing as creators that say the same thing about anything. Creators don't say the same thing about skincare. Creators do not say the same thing about anything that is monetized. People will disagree. people also are individuals. People might prefer this might work for me, not for you. But of course, the steps, the basics, they are not unfamiliar to me. This is nothing new. I am clear on that. That is just my opinion. But yeah, let's react to some more clips.
In addition to that, this has been the natural hair community for the past 5 years, okay? Oils are bad. Actually, oils are actually really good, and you should actually use oils and grease. Shampoo your hair once or twice a month. You should actually shampoo your hair 3 times a week, and if you don't, you're actually musty and dusty. Mini twists are good. Actually, mini twists are actually really bad. Glueless wigs are good. Actually, no, I like glueless wigs are actually really bad. The sky is blue. Actually, no, I like the sky's actually pink.
Now, I do agree with this creator. There's a lot of back and forth in the natural hair community. A lot of people fight. One person thinks this works. One person thinks that another thing works. And a lot of people go back and forth for no reason. I feel like with any method, whether it's Abby Young's, whether it's some natural hair creators, it has to be about you. It has to be about you finding your groove. Does this work for me? Let me weed this out. Let me add something in. Sometimes mixing 2 ideas together might work. Me personally, I respect professionals. Heck, even Abby herself. If you're a trichologist, if you are somebody who has studied anything that has to do with hair, you definitely have my views. You definitely have my likes, my comments, all of the things. But I do not like people making it seem like this is only true or evident in natural hair spaces. There are lots of people who disagree with Abby. The going back and forth, the fighting, but I may not say fighting, the disagreeing, the critiques about whether or not people are bamboozling their audience, whether people are doing something for monetary gain. It is something that is also alive and well with Abby herself. She has been criticized a lot. I wish people would just be honest that they like Abby Lee. Why do I say Lee? I've been saying Lee for so long. Abby Young's method, because it just works for them. That's it. You just like it. You like Abby or whatever else. It does not have to be that there's something wrong with natural hair creators, because they can only be individuals. There's nothing they can do to upset that. They can only be individuals in a space where everybody argues about everything, not just them. They aren't messiahs. They aren't going to change that.
Abby has been very smart to market her method in a very profitable way. She is monetizing everything. And she has got Dove and L'Oreal and Pureology and K18 and all these brands just right in her pocket. So bravo, sis.
No lie was told here. This is very true. Brands under her post, picking her up, giving her props for recommending their products, which is not odd. A lot of brands do want to be recommended, and at the end of the day, Abby Lee has to recommend products. Like, that's just how her recommendations work. She is a recommender of products. Basically, she promotes drugstore products, and basically her pitch is that they're cheaper, they're more affordable, they're more accessible, and they work for your hair. I mean, that's just a selling pitch. She's going to win with that one. But the question is she working with these brands? Are they paying her? Is this a way for her to gain some money? And well, she does have some paid promo. There are a lot of brands that have paid her to promote them. So technically yes and technically no. I mean, if I was doing hair care, I was going to recommend some products myself. A lot of black owned products. I know that they are taboo right now in the entire natural hair community street, but a lot of black owned products, some are cheap and some are not. Yes, just like non-black products, the same way that these girlies are being driven back to the drugstore, it implies that they were using things that are not drugstore products prior. They were using things that are a bit more expensive. That is not exclusive to us as curly haired girlies. So no, I actually do not think that it is a bad thing that she recommends products, especially if they are accessible. Especially if they are accessible. I think that it is a good thing. It makes it easier for the people who are listening to her to follow along. I know what to get. I know where to get it.
I posted a video about how it's weird that black women are so willing to accept the Abby Young method, even though black cosmetologists have been telling them the same thing for years. And I fear the literacy crisis is worse than we think. I open the schools, open the libraries. There's black women fighting for their lives in my comments talking about her method worked for me. I never said it wouldn't work. In fact, I said it was cosmetology 101. A week before Black History Month, and y'all going up for a white lady you have never seen touch black hair. Harriet Tubman would have left y'all behind. You are embarrassing. It's a bunch of them talking about, oh, it's the way she says it. It's so gentle and everything. Where have I heard that before? Because y'all sound like the tone police. It's giving very anti-black. It's just something about not wanting to trust the woman who looks exactly like you and has the same credentials. It's giving self-hate, sweetheart. I'm so sorry. You should see the lady. This one is my favorite. I've had such bad experiences with black stylists. Name 3 good experiences you've had with white ones. I'll wait. Now, are there terrible black stylists? Absolutely. Every profession has terrible people in it. But what I'm saying to you is give the professional a chance to explain something to you, because I've seen y'all sit in the chair and be like, well, I do this, this, and this. And they're like, okay, well, you need to do this, this, and this. And you just don't trust it. Yet, you're willing to trust some white lady you have never met, which is my point. I will say this, though. It's some of y'all in the comments who are like, oh, her method saved my hair. Yeah, you look like her method saved your hair, and I will not be explaining further. If you know, you know.
I almost fully agree, especially on the black cosmetologist thing. Yes, they have been saying this for years. They have been regurgitating these steps, these methods. They have been telling everybody how important hygiene is, how important it is that everybody keeps their hair healthy. This is nothing new. Now, she did talk about the idea of black women listening to a white lady and them pointing out that it's because she's gentle, and I saw videos saying that. And by the way, there are black cosmetologists that are gentle, black trichologists who are gentle, there are black hairstylists who are, and black hairstylists who aren't. Professionals such as Abby are not the same as your local hairstylist. Those are professionals. They work in professional settings. They cannot be compared. I'm pretty sure there are nasty, mean white cosmetologists, trichologists out there, and I'm sure whenever somebody meets a bad one, they just go to the next one, and they do not conclude that I had a bad experience with you because you are a white cosmetologist, because you are a white trichologist. But again, other groups of people are afforded way more individuality than we are, and a lot of people unfortunately subscribe to that, and it is very hurtful and it is very harmful. And yeah, I'm glad that she also spoke on a lot of creators talking about how they have had bad experiences with bad stylists. Yes, so has everybody has had bad experiences with bad stylists. There are non-black women who have talked about their hair being bleached wrong, their hair falling off. A lot of them have talked about experiencing a lot of negativity from their hairstylist, being given bad advice. This is not exclusive to black women and girls, and I get her frustration. The creator, the video I just played, I get her frustration. I get why this is so anti-black to me, why this is so wrong. You are giving more responsibility to black hairstylists, to black cosmetologists, to black trichologists. You are expecting them to not be individuals. You want them seen in the same light, and that is not okay. I do not think there's something wrong with people listening to Abby. I think that whoever your hairstylist is, no matter what race they are, you should listen to them if that works for you, especially if it is convenient for you to listen to them. But do not run around acting like you saying not listening to black hairstylist is a good thing. That's just awful. That is just odd. I cannot believe we're here.
I'm telling y'all right now. Do not come on my page blowing up my spot. Ask me about no fucking Abby Young method. Do not come on my page. Do not ask me about my opinions on the Abby Young method. I do not care. And moreover, if you really followed me and you really valued the information I provide, you would already know how I feel about the method. You wouldn't even need to ask me. Nothing about my method has changed in the past 8-9 years. Tell me, do you go on Abby Young's page and ask her about the stuff I be teaching y'all here on my page? No? Don't ask me about Abby Young and her method. I don't give a fuck. You know what? if you ask me, I'm liable to just block you. Because obviously you're wasting my fucking time, and I don't want to waste yours either. So we might as well just go ahead and nip that shit in the bud. Don't fucking ask me. But I'm not playing.
So a lot of black hair professionals who have been in the game for more than a minute now are obviously frustrated. A lot of people are asking them about Abby Young's method, but they have their own methods that they have been using on their clients for years successfully. So they've been posting results, their clients have been posting reviews throughout the years, and here comes Abby Young, and all of a sudden they are now obligated to recommend Abby. Not only that, but to talk about her method to help sell it to their own audiences, and that makes no sense. She just went viral. It does not mean that her method is the creme de la creme and that their own methods have no value.
The problem isn't taking advice from a white woman. Okay, good advice comes in all shapes and sizes from people of all races. The problem is when people take advice without even understanding what the goal and purpose of that advice is and whether or not that advice is beneficial to them. The Abby Young method is absolutely beneficial if you have specific hair goals. If you're heat styling frequently using blow dryers, straighteners every day, every other day, if you're coloring your hair, bleaching it on a regular basis, and your goals are silky smooth hair, then you will benefit insanely from the Abby Young method, because that method is meticulously crafted to keep hair silky smooth and strong enough to withstand that frequent heat styling and coloring. If you're applying heat to your hair on a regular basis and you're coloring and bleaching it, your hair is already going to be in a more compromised state. The internal bonds will be weaker and the cuticle will be more raised. That is why the Abby Young method focuses so much on bond repair and gloss treatments. Bond repair to fortify those internal bonds, and gloss treatments to smooth that cuticle. There's nothing inherently bad about this method. It's simply a case of whether or not the shoe fits. And if you're someone who has curly hair and you wear your hair curly 90+% of the time, and you're not heat styling every other day, and you're not coloring your hair and dyeing it frequently, then using all of the parts of this method is just excessive. You don't have to do as much as that. But if you're someone who has natural hair and you wear it straight 90% plus of the time, and you're dyeing it and heat styling on a very regular basis every other day, and you're struggling with breakage, then try out the Abby Young method because it will likely be beneficial for you.